As with many of the other recipes I've already presented on this channel, stuffed mushrooms was once a great dish that could be found on the menu of some of the finest restaurants before the invention of ready-made frozen foods and the push for everything to be made faster, cheaper, easier. To do these right takes a little time and patience, but your efforts will be rewarded. If you've ever had terrible experiences with stuffed mushrooms being gummy, bready, and tasteless, prepare for a flashback to the 1940s when these were proudly served at every bar and every cocktail party that was worth going to. We got the red onion and the garlic already cut up. I've got 8 mushrooms here that have been washed. What you have to do is take each mushroom, snap off the cap from the stem, and then you're going to have to go in here and try to scoop out a little bit more. You want to make this get as much out of here as you can without destroying the mushroom, of course, because you still need the integrity of the outside in order to hold the filling, but you want to make a big pocket here. Okay, there's the first one. We're going to repeat this for the rest of them. Okay, we got the bacon, which is a couple of strips or 45 grams, ounce and a half. I'm just going to give this a rough chop and get this going in the pan. Start the fat rendering, and then we've got all these mushroom stems here. You don't have to worry about making these too fine. This is what we scraped out of the mushrooms. I'm just going to give these mushroom stems just a couple of quick chops too, just to break them up a little bit. They're all going to be pureed later anyway after they cook, so you don't have to worry about it too much. It's also important to squeeze lemon juice over the top of the mushroom caps, and then after you squeeze lemon juice on about half a lemon, then just rub it around, make sure that they're all completely coated. Not only will this keep them from turning dark, but it'll also add some nice flavor. On a medium heat, when the fat begins to render out of the bacon, I'm adding half a teaspoon of paprika. I'm going to cook this for just a couple of minutes, then I'm going to add the red onion and the garlic. And I still have a medium heat here. We want to cook this until it softens, and after 5 minutes of the bacon and the onions and the garlic being cooked at medium heat, I'm going to add the mushroom stems and the other mushroom bits here. I'm going to begin cooking this. And this is also going to take quite a while, even longer this time, because we really need to get all the moisture out of that. And in order to help get the moisture out of that, we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt to this too. That might seem like a lot, but you get a lot of mushrooms and a lot of other products here. This is what it looks like after about 10 more minutes. And then I'm going to add the white wine. Cook this for a couple more minutes here. Okay, it's been literally 2 minutes. Now I'm going to add the shrimp. This is 60 grams or about 2 ounces of bay shrimp. And as this is cooking, I'm going to add the half teaspoon of cayenne to this. So we're getting close to the end here to where we're going to grind this up and begin stuffing the mushrooms. Just going to give this just a little bit more. This is kind of a critical step though. You don't want to cut this off too soon. You definitely want your deep developed flavors in here. Cut it off too soon, it won't have that intense, rich flavor. When you're satisfied that you've got it cooked down enough, you're going to put it in a thick blender cup or some other food processor. And then you're going to scrape it out into a bowl. You're going to add 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs and 2 egg yolks, and stir this together, make it a homogeneous mixture. Okay, the same baking dish that you used for the mushrooms when you were adding the lemon juice to them, you can use. Just add a little olive oil here on the bottom. Stack them in. I recommend a ceramic baking dish. If you use metal, the bottom of the metal will get very hot and scorch the bottoms of the mushrooms. It's not really a good thing. Okay, now we've got this. Freshly grated Parmesan cheese over the top. Do not use the crappy substitute boxed dehydrated stuff. This is what you need. Now it's going to go in the oven for 16 minutes. Now here's the secret step. It will transform your mushrooms into something far better than anybody else's. An old trick that seems to have been lost in the annals of time. Everybody knew this 40 or 50 years ago. Somehow it's never mentioned in cookbooks. Okay, we transferred these 16 minutes. We've transferred these all to a plate. Now, take the pan juices from this and carefully try to distribute them evenly over the tops of the mushrooms. Then we put the mushrooms back in the same tray. These back. Now we've got the juices from the plate, and we do the same thing. We try to get these back over the top of it to re-moisten them as evenly as possible. And now they go back into the oven again for a little. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.